I'm going to go ahead and call the meeting to order. Start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good morning.
Good morning.
Next we have is approval of today's agenda.
The motion to approve the agenda.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries. Next is approval of minutes of March 20th.
Lance, I'd make a motion to approve the minutes dated March 20th, 2023 as presented.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Next is approval of claims for payment of March 27th.
Make a motion to approve claims for payment.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries. Now we have is consideration approved utility permit UT 23007 with Hardin Energy.
Lance, I'd make a motion to approve the utility permit UT 23-007. This is installing a new three-phase #1 primary under 120th Street northwest of Alden. It'll be directionally bored and placed in 4-inch conduit.
I will second it.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries. Now we have is consideration to approve the IGHCP insurance renewal. Is that seen? There it is. I'm sure you've seen it.
Yeah. I will make a motion to approve the IGHCP insurance renewal.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
Again, kept the rates as low as I've heard for when I've been at other boards, commission meetings.
Haven't heard anybody this low.
No, not several years in a row.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Motion carries. Next is discussion and possible action for finalization of county TIFs.
So Lance, I'd make a motion authorizing Treasurer Eichmeyer to disperse the excess TIF funds collected regarding Pine Lake Corn Processors, which is ledger 0030, and Carbotech ledger, which is 0031.
I will second it.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? This is something that's been on the books. They're paid off, correct?
Yes.
They're all paid off. We just need to get them off the books.
Correct.
They've been on there since 19, I think.
Yeah. Additional funds that were collected that need to be dispersed back out to the appropriate taxing districts.
Okay. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. I have change of status.
I will make a motion to approve the change of status for Rebecca Junker. It is a resignation effective March 29th, 2023. And she was a full-time exempt employee in the auditor's office.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Lance, I'd make a motion to approve the hiring of permanent part-time transport officer Michael McConnell at a rate of $20.35 an hour effective March 27th, 2023.
I will second it.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Now I have is a report from the county assessor. Come on up.
Just letting everybody know that assessments are probably going out Wednesday, and you can expect increases in every class: commercial, residential, ag land, ag dwellings, residential 3+. Purchase prices are what have driven these values up. People the last 2 years have been paying excessively high purchase prices for property. And we're all going to be feeling the effects of those starting for 1/1/23. There are 2 videos out on YouTube that I strongly encourage everybody to watch. The first one is, if you go to YouTube videos, how are my property taxes figured? And then the second one is, how does the state rollback affect my property taxes? The biggest misconception for the increase in values is everybody thinks that the value or their taxes are going to go up the same percentage of their value. And that is what the rollback, now known as assessment limitation, takes care of. Or I shouldn't say takes care of, it helps offset the increase. And like I said, the last 2 years, purchase prices have gone crazy. COVID, I think, helped that when people were working from home. They wanted bigger houses, nicer houses. They just wanted a house. They were able to work from home. So they wanted something maybe where they can have an office there. We have to be at 100% of market value. And what people pay for property helps set that market value. And it does not affect just the houses that sell. It affects all of us. And if the increase wouldn't be added now, the Department of Revenue would have mandated an equalization order this fall. So might as well do it now so that hopefully nothing much changes. We don't get an equalization order and we can certify values. These videos that I stated, it's real Dick and Jane steps. I talked to Rebecca last week and I talked to Elaine. They're going to put articles in the paper and they both also have noted the videos. And I don't know if I told them both to watch them. I urge you guys to watch them. I know some changes were made, you know, to people's property in 21 when we did the updates then, but with what they are or were set then, chances are they're still going to see increases now, and nothing really changed for them other than everybody's values went up. I know I had to run some percentages last week, and ag land, the approximate increase is 19.38%. Ag land CSR unit price went up $3.85 per unit. And that 5-year formula, as everybody knows, ag land is valued different than residential, commercial, and industrial. It's based off of productivity, and evidently there were more good years in that 5-year average than there were bad, because the land prices or the CSR unit price did go up $3.85 a unit. Ag dwellings went up 25.38%, residential 18.37%, commercial 21.15%. Industrial went up 1.27%, and I think that's only because we didn't have some tanks on a property owners. We didn't have the right sizes, so there was an increase on theirs. And then Res 3+ went up 21.5%. When people call, and I know we are going to get lots of calls again, I hope they will watch these videos first, and that might help explain a lot. There's only 2 of us in the office. I hope they're patient. They can leave a message and we will get back to them. I guess that's about it, but pretty much. So if you guys hear complaints, I mean, it's market driven. We have to be 100% value.
And send them to you, right? And send them to you, right?
Send them to the videos first.
Yes,
Oh, I'm kidding.
Yes, and seriously though, encourage them to watch these videos, because they do. I mean, if people educate themselves prior to the phone calls, they might not even need to make a phone call. And one of the first questions we're going to ask them is, okay, you don't like your value, but would you sell it for that price that we have on it? And the majority of them say, well, no, you know, they would ask more. So you've answered your own question there. Doesn't matter if it's a nice house, fantabulous house, they're selling high. And acreages are the premium. You don't even want to joke about selling an acreage because you won't have it. People, you know, we've had a lot of property owners say that they've been approached by people, will you sell me your acreage? Will you sell me your house? And they don't even want to sell it, but they throw out a price, and a lot of times they're surprised when it's taken. You live on a hard surface road, it's even more premium. You live close to an interstate, Garden City. I mean, there's nothing in Garden City, and those sell high. And there's just, I mean, I set the value. That's the biggest thing. People call and say, you raised my taxes. No, I didn't. I raised your value because I had to. Everything else beyond that is out of my control. I set value, and then the budgets that are turned into Jolene for her to figure the levies, that's beyond my control. I don't have any control over the schools, the cities, you know, all the other entities send in for a budget. So just so you know, they're going out hopefully Wednesday. So let the fun begin.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Before we jump into other business, I got Mark Bushcamp here with IFADC.
Hey, Mark.
Long time no see.
I was going to have him on the agenda, but I did not get it done. So he's here either way.
I'm here. Well, good morning. So just give you a quick rundown of a few things that have been going on. So we've had a business that we've been working with for about 7 months now. And it looks like we've got a deal struck so that we occupy a portion of a vacant building here in Eldora and starting their operations. Can't tell you much more about it than that right now because they're still crossing T's and dotting I's, but looks like very promising. Project Bulldog, which is a company that we hosted for a business visit back in November, came back in late February for a second visit, and that went really well. So we're optimistic and hopeful that things continue to progress. CNI Ag, which is the company that bought our spec building in Iowa Falls, hosted their open house on March 7th. So they've worked for almost a full year on the build out of that building, building their tank farm, and it's basically a agricultural, chemical, crop safety warehouse and distribution center, wholesale distribution center. Beautiful building. They've done a fantastic job on the build out. It's very nice, very impressive. They were also very complimentary of the assistance they received from the city of Iowa Falls and IFADC. So we're happy to help. We are building a spec house in Iowa Falls. That's going up on the east side of Sherman Street, still under construction, but hopefully will be finished by this spring and on the market. So we'll test the waters and hopefully we get some sale out of it. Economic Engineering Strategic Planning Steering Committee has continued to meet. Now we've started with subcommittees meeting. So we've had a couple of those and we've got to schedule a couple more. So continues to progress. We're still working with Albright's Bluff. That's the former Camp David building in Iowa Falls. They were not able to get a bid on the first go around. We found a different source of funding through Iowa Economic Development Authority, and it's reduced some of the restrictions that were on the money. So hopefully we work with them. We've met with a contractor a couple of times, so we hope to secure a bid and see that project move forward for a new facade and awnings and safety features on the building. Deb Crosser and I have been meeting with a grant-funded program to train us on recruiting and managing volunteers. This could have an impact on city and county, just trying to help with policy making and so forth. And I've been able to negotiate a deal to remain a member of the Community Venture Network. That's out of Minneapolis. I know PJ, you've been up to a meeting up there. We were members through MIGP. MIGP, Mid-Iowa Growth Partnership, has decided not to fund that anymore. So I reached out to Bright County, who wanted to also remain a member, and we've been able to split a membership cost. So would reduce the cost associated with that. Also, I've gotten, I think all of the vacant industrial buildings in Eldora listed on LOIS. LOIS is Location One Information System. It's a nationwide database of industrial and commercial properties and buildings. So we've got it up there. We're starting to market it that way. We pushed it out to a couple of site selectors, but we'll see. It's obviously a long process in marketing those. And I guess I'll quit with that. So any questions?
There's like a lot going on.
Okay.
Thank you, Mark.
Nope, thank you. Other business.
I have a couple of things. The first thing, I spoke with Sarah Curry from Islands for Tax Relief. They put out some information a week or so ago about carryover funds in counties and making sure you're not overtaxing and having carryover funds. And so after about an hour discussion with her and going through some data sets, by far the trend over about the past 20 years in Hardin County is one of the safest, most conservative carryover amounts in taxation, and that's with and without the mental health levies and some other things. So it was a great conversation with her to have her look at, nearly 20 years of data to see where the county is and making sure that we're not over levying for carryover. But then there's counties that some counties have 124% carryover and some with 2%. So finding that sweet spot while being responsible to the taxpayer can be tough sometimes, but it's good to hear that we're doing it. The second thing I had was the Central Iowa Community Services mental health region. We have a significant carryover that would go back to the state of Iowa and then would be redistributed in other mental health regions. We were able to take $5.3 million of the carryover that would be spent or sent back to the state, and we invested that into the new Ember campus that Youth Shelter Services, headquartered out of Ames, but servicing a lot of Iowa. They're building a 70-bed mental health youth crisis stabilization center. And so we were able to, instead of sending that money back to the state, we're able to invest it locally in this crisis stabilization center for young men and women. So that's some, I think, good news today. That's all I have. Thanks, Lance.
Any other business? Michelle?
I just want to remind people that the property taxes are due by the 31st. You can either pay online, which is a quarter for an e-check, or a credit card is 2.25%. You have the mail option, you have the Dropbox option of the e-store, and you have the in-office and the online. Oh, I already said online, but duplicate that. It's quick and it's easy,
but get them paid.
Convenient, and you just want to have it paid by the 31st. And then also an announcement of April 4th, our office is going to be closed. We are headed back to school to help serve our customers better. So we will be closed, and we apologize for the inconvenience, but we'll be learning things, so that's all important.
Okay. That's in the, will that be in the paper too? A reminder?
Yes, put it out to the press and the radio stations. I've already got that out there. We've got it online and we've got it on Facebook.
Okay.
And we've got it posted at the door.
Okay.
And our office.
Any other business? Hearing none, I can go to public comments. Has anybody signed up? Okay. Then let's move on to adjournment for recess.
Make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned.